What's going on, everybody? Brezzy43 here. I am back with our next video. Today we're going to be just doing some last minute testing here. I am pretty close to Players Cup 4 team lock-in. We lock in Friday, I believe. I'm not sure what time. It's either Friday morning or late Thursday night. Yeah, I've got to lock in, and I've been playing a team a bunch on ladder. I actually climbed all the way up to 66th, and then I've been kind of climbing my way back from there. The team has some pretty polarizing matchups, and so that's why I kind of want to do some more testing here. There's one member of my team that I'm not super confident in, which is the Nihilego. So this is the team, just to refresh your memories. We have Assault Vest Celesteela, Meteor Beam Nihilego, Thick Club Marowak, Focus Sash Shifu, Miracle Seed Rillaboom, and the Full Incense Grimmsnarl. So the one Pokemon member one member of this team I'm not super pleased with overall has actually been the Nihilego. I wanted a Trick Room setter that could deal with fire types, and it's just not. It's very polarizing. It's either a phenomenal Pokemon or it's really, really bad, and there's not really an in between. So we're gonna check it out here. This is gonna be a challenging matchup here, actually. This looks like it's gonna be offensive Pult. Yeah, this is gonna be kind of rough, I think. Dragapult is one of the Pokemon that's been giving me trouble, and it's been picking up in popularity a ton. So this looks like coaching Fairmosa. So I'm gonna lead my Celesteela Grimmsnarl. I don't need Nihilego. I don't think I need Marowak. I could just bring Rillaboom or Shifu and try to play around the end game Stakataka, which I'm assuming they're gonna have. So this should get around most leads. Actually, the lead of Dragapult plus Entei would be kind of scary because I can't outspeed it. They drop their defense and they drop my defense and they get a Sacred Fire off. I can't fake it out is what I mean to say. But I don't really have a switch into that on this team. So that's the problem with this Nihilego, is that it's my only fire resist outside of Marowak, and I guess Urshifu as well. But it doesn't give me the extra security that I need to be able to switch it in and take a hit, because it's so frail. Even with the extra EVs that I put into its bulk, it still dies to most physical attacks. So this is probably gonna be Dragapult Entei. Yep, Dragapult Entei. Okay, so a couple of things we can do. I am going to concede the fact that Celesteela's Dynamax it's probably not going to live through its Dynamax. I don't think we die to this play. I'm going to go ahead, and I have Reflect as my only screen on this Grimmsnarl, but this is one matchup I told you guys, or I mentioned, that I'm just not a fan of. I don't have any way around this, really. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the Rockfall, and then I'm going to go for the Reflect. Reflect gives me that extra oomph that I need to buy myself a turn and maybe knock out the Entei. So let's try this. They're going to max the Pult. Yep. I think I might have played against this team. I don't know. It looks familiar for some reason. I definitely played against the Dragapult Entei lead with a Stakataka on their team too, so maybe this is the same person. But let's see what they do. I'm expecting Max Phantasm into my Celesteela, and then I'm expecting a Sacred Fire into my Celesteela. So I'm hoping that the Rockfall picks up. If the Rockfall picks up, I'll be in phenomenal shape. If it doesn't pick up, then it'll be kind of rough. But this is exactly one of the tough matchups for this team. Dragapult puts on so much offensive pressure on my team and I'm playing catch up the entire time. I can set Reflect and get rid of my defense boosts, but I can't Airstream because Celesteela doesn't outspeed after a +1. It will outspeed the Entei, but it doesn't outspeed the Pult. So Pult can just go for the maxed Airstream the next turn and boost it back up. So that's a lot of damage. I'm hoping that this Rockfall picks up. I don't know if it will, but we're gonna try our best. Okay. Yep. No crits. A lot of damage. A lot of damage. We got the burn. Okay. Maybe. I mean, maybe. Not even close. So it looks like it might be Assault Vest. Unfortunate. All right. Well, this puts us in a decent spot potentially. Depends on what they do next turn. If they go for the max Airstream, I'm in trouble. I'm expecting them to go for the Airstream into the Grimmsnarl and Sacred Fire into the Celesteela. It is risky for them if they miss, but so maybe they just double the Celesteela. They might just double the Celesteela. They could just Phantasm it again, guarantee the knockout, and then Sacred Fire does a bunch of damage to -2 Grimm. So let's see what they do. Looks like that's indeed the play. So this knocks out for sure. We have Tricked, but we don't really have a good answer to Dragapult on this team. So this is one of the matchups I was trying to fix by adding Reflect into my move pool, but let's see how much damage this does. I'm expecting this is probably going to be, yeah, quite a bit. And they got the burn. So the burn plus the... I don't think we should die. It's going to be close. Alright, we die for sure next turn. But we can go into Urshifu here. Okay. Alright, I'm going to Aqua Jet. And I'm going to Spirit Break. My opponent should probably just switch the Entei and protect the Dragapult. That would be probably the best play they could make. They have E-Speed? Okay. I think that's still fine. It keeps their Dragapult healthier than it would have been, but they still lose the Entei. Airstream, okay. This Airstream doesn't matter. It just does a good chunk of damage. I was hoping the Max Rockfall would do more damage. I guess my alternative turn 1 could have been Airstream plus Trick, and then hope that would have been good enough. That seems kind of risky, though. Let's see what they got. Okay, their own Rillaboom. Okay. So the Protect here is fairly obvious. They have Formosa in the back, too, so I'm pretty sure I'm just screwed. Focus Sash Formosa is going to be their back end Pokemon here. I'm fairly certain I'm just screwed. Well, I'm not going to win via Protects here, I don't think. They're going to probably... I mean, they could just Grassy Glide, too. They don't even have to go for the Fake Out. I'm going to try this play. I'm sure it's... They could just read this and Fake Out. This Protect is pretty obvious. I think I'm going to just lose, but that's okay. This is definitely... Yep, good read from my opponent. This is definitely a really bad matchup. Like, really bad matchup. I think I've played this exact player before. Okay. This should give us information as to which Rillaboom is faster. Okay, we're either speed tying or I'm faster. Now we have to watch all the animations. But I'm just going to forfeit here, actually, because they can just Grassy Glide the Urshifu, and then just Dragon Darts again. So I'm just going to go ahead and call it. But yeah, this has been the matchup that I've been running into constantly that just whoops me, because nothing I have deals with Dragapult very well unless I can unless the partner for Dragapult doesn't offensively pressure me. So if they lead something like Clefairy Dragapult or like Togekiss Dragapult even is okay, but like Dragapult plus fast physical attacker like Entei or Urshifu or something like that just gives me a ton of headaches. So I definitely that's one of my really bad matchups. But I think I match up pretty well into most Sun teams. The Nut Core I've got a good grasp on. The Regieleki stuff I have a good matchup into. So you can't have a good matchup against everything, but I seem to be running into this Dragapult stuff a lot more, and I'm wondering if people might be picking up Dragapult because it actually has a pretty decent Regieleki matchup as well. So I may have to do some reevaluating of that matchup at least, because Nihilego can't take the hit. It dies to Max Phantasm unquestionably, especially since most Pults are adamant these days. So I wonder how much that would have done if I didn't set up the Reflect. If they went for Phantasm plus Phantasm plus Sacred Fire. If I survive and I can get the Airstream off and I can get the Trick off, then the subsequent turns, Rockfall ends up being really good. Yeah. Are we gonna find somebody here? But definitely just like a really bad matchup. I've been trying to think about some other things that I could potentially run. I'm not running Fake Tears Grim, but Fake Tears seems like it's just so good on this team. It's such an offensive tool, especially from Trick Grimmsnarl. You can like, slow down or trick their item away on their opponent, and then or on their Dynamax, and then the next turn go after the ally, and there's a lot of cool things that you can do with Fake Tears. The reality though is that I wasn't using it very much. I found myself using Fake Out, Spirit Break, or Fake Out and Trick more often than not. So, okay, Mono. I've played this guy a couple of times now, I believe. This is not the same team though, I don't believe. This is another one that's probably going to be... I'm expecting... Oh, no. I think I do know this guy's team, or this player's team. I think this is offensive Incin, and I think this guy goes for coaching Incin against Celesteela. I think I recognize this. So we want Celesteela Grim. We probably want Rillaboom. This might be Prankster Thundurus. I don't remember what the Thundurus does. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't look like it's an offensive Thundurus. But I don't really want to bring Marowak because it doesn't match up very well into the Kingdra Politoed. And I don't know if I want Urshifu against Rillaboom, but Nihilego seems so bad. Nihilego's okay, I guess, against the Incin. Because it just trades itself for a bunch of damage. Alright, we'll bring Nihilego. I'm not confident that that's the right bring, but it seems better than Marowak for sure. I just don't know how much better it would have been than Urshifu Water. I think I know this guy's team. I think I faced it a couple of times. We just realized I kind of blend in with my chair a little bit because I'm wearing a blue shirt. Yep. Okay. I think this is coaching Pheromosa. And it's definitely offensive Incin. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Airstream, and then we're going to go for the Fake Out. If they read this with a Protect, if they remember my team, for example, then I think we're still in a reasonable spot. But this turn I can go for this play, then the next turn I can go for Reflect plus Steel Spike if I want to, or I can change the weather with a Rock move. Got a couple of options. I might be Weakness Policy as well. I don't actually know. Let's see. They did not max. They went for Fake Out. Okay. Okay, they got the coaching off. So maybe they do remember me. So this will bring it down to Sash. That's the only problem of running Fake Out on Lagging Tail Grim, is that your Fake Out always goes last. Like, always goes last. Oh, I do remember this person because I think they actually crit me when we played last. Okay, I'm going to go for this play, and then I'm going to go for Reflect. This knocks out the Pheromosa. It doesn't give me the Beast Boost. Do I want the Beast Boost? It's going to be +2 Incin, though. That's the problem. So I think I have to Reflect this turn. So it's going to be +2 Incin. It seems a little bit greedy to go for this play, or to go for like the Airstream boost, but I think this is going to work. We don't get the Beast Boost like I said, but we get to get some damage on Incin. We get the Reflect up. Neolego can come in the subsequent turn if they knock something out and potentially deal with the Incin from there. Coaching Incin's pretty scary though, like for sure. Alright, let's see. So how much does +2 Incin do to something like Grimmsnarl? I'm guessing they're gonna go for the Flare. That would be my assumption. Flare into like Grimmsnarl to set up the sun for the next turn. Okay. They just go straight after the Celesteela. Okay. Oh, I made a mistake. I made a big mistake. They attack second. They attacked second. So the sun stayed up. I got greedy. Yeah. I got greedy. I think I lose. I think I lose. I don't think Grimmsnarl takes this. Nope. Okay. Back against the wall. What do we got? Alright, so 2 turns of max down from my opponent. Can we get out of this? So we pick up the Pheromosa this turn. I don't know if Meteor Beam KOs. I think it has to at this point. We're kind of out of options here. I think it has to KO. Otherwise, we like 150% lose. But if it doesn't KO for some reason, or if it does KO for some reason, and we have, and they have Thundurus in the back, and Rillaboom in the back, can we do anything to that? Poison does resist grass, but I don't think I take a Miracle Seed Grassy Glide still. Okay. Kingdra. Interesting. Okay. What if I gone for a Grassy Glide into that slot instead of the Fake Out? Kingdra might have gone down. Alright. This needs to KO. Please. KO. Nope. God, Incin, you're so bulky. Alright, that's game. Because now the Neolego can never outspeed the Pheromosa, and they also have the Kingdra. I'm just stuck. I don't think it's worth playing out. I don't think there's any way out of it. They just let the Incin go down here, then they bring in the Pheromosa, and then I can't do anything to it. Let's see. Maybe... Oh, they had Politoed too, so Politoed's definitely in the back, huh? So they just switch in Politoed. and go for the rain move or the water move. Okay. Okay, they just didn't switch. So we got that read wrong. And that doesn't even KO anyway. Okay. Draco comes out. I'm sure we take a Draco. We just don't take the double up here. So maybe we should have gone after the Ensign. We needed like a crit on that Meteor Beam to actually get it. Alright. Well, not off to a good start. Having this matchup, I've been thinking about substituting the Nihilego for something like Garchomp. Having Garchomp against a team like this would definitely have helped. The Ensign can set up on us for sure, but we can go for my opponent probably has to do Kingdra stuff then, and then we have the trick for the Kingdra. So I think we would have been okay potentially with something like Garchomp or something. Basically, you want something on this team that deals with fire types, because even though Celesteela has a rock move, it doesn't deal with fire types very well, unless it can outspeed them. So, all right, what you got? Okay, so this matchup is very weird because oh, they forfeited. Okay, I was gonna say I kind of have to go for a read on turn one, and it's not usually a good situation. I usually have to bring Marowak in the back, because I have to go for most of the time the Regigigas player will target the slot next to the Celesteela. So Airstream into the Weezing plus switch Grimmsnarl into the Ghost type usually gets them. In my experience, at least the two players that I have made that play and they've got it. Now obviously that's the beauty of best of one. It wouldn't be a best of three strategy, but in best of one it definitely would. Would get most people, because they're like, why would you bring Marowak? It's like a lightning rod Pokemon. And then against the Colossal lead, I obviously just have the trick for the Colossal. So but Entei, that Dragapult Entei lead was kind of scary. Excuse me, I can't fake out Entei. So I kind of just get put on a back foot. Alessio, is this Yuri? I want to see if he's streaming. I'm going to close out, obviously, because I'm not a screen sniper, but is Yuri streaming? Does not appear that Yuri is streaming. Okay. All right. So against Sun, Nihilego is usually very good, but they don't have a Charizard. So Nihilego doesn't match up that well. I usually end up bringing Celesteela Grimmsnarl, and then I bring the Marowak in the back, and then I need something to help me with the Landorus. And Nihilego only kind of does that, as long as it doesn't have the Quake boosts, but it's going to get the Quake boosts. I actually think Urshifu matches up here better than Rillaboom, because they could just go for the Venusaur +1 with Torkoal Registeel in the back. They may not even bring Registeel as well, but I think this gives me the best end game against Registeel, because most Registeel can't touch Marowak. That's another beauty of Alolan Marowak right now, is that Registeel can't touch it because it's usually Body Press, Amnesia, Iron Defense, and then either Protect or Heavy Slam or something, which we don't care about. And Marowak also matches up really well against the Venusaur if I can get the item switched. So not having Taunt on Grimmsnarl is kind of a rough thing for this matchup, but Fake Out usually does enough for it. Okay, Grimmsnarl Lando. Okay. So I'm going to want to get an Airstream boost off at some point here. I could try for it into the Grimmsnarl, but I think my opponent's going to stay in and go for the light screen. The question is, what do they do with Landorus? This team looks like it's AV Lando, so I'm not necessarily too worried about light screen. or sorry, not light screen, Swords Dance. But it could be a number of different things. I'm guessing it's going to just max Quake into the Grim. So I want to just pick up this knockout, I think. Deny my opponent's screens, and then if the Landorus Dynamaxes, I can trick the Landorus. I don't think I should die to any... Okay, they don't switch. I got that right. Landorus is not maxing. Unless it's slower than me, but it definitely should not be. Huh. Okay. Oh, it is Swords Dance Lando. Well, that's terrifying. Awesome. Okay. So we'll get the Steel Spike up. The question is going to be what comes in next, right? So if they bring in something that can pressure the Grimmsnarl, or can pressure us, then I think we might have to just go for the trick. But if they don't, I might be able to squeeze in a Reflect before I have to trick. Let's see what they have. If it's like Venu or something, then I have to be worried about, okay, Porygon. So I don't necessarily have to worry too much about Porygon, but I think I want to... Okay, so what do they have in the back? Torkoal? Do they have Coal? Or Registeel? At this point, it's got to be one of those two, right? There's no way that it's Venu in the back. Okay, so I think that I can go for... I think, do I want to just hard target the Porygon? I could trick the Landorus this turn and then go for a Steel Spike again. I'm going to do the Reflect play. Okay, here comes the Landorus max. It's going to max Quake, but with Reflect, I think, and +1, I think we take. It could Airstream, though, too, I guess. Trick Rooming from my opponent here doesn't make a lot of sense. We just need to get this trick off at some point here. So maybe this was a bit greedy of me to go for this play, but as long as they don't crit. If they crit, then I'm going to be kind of upset, but let's see. Okay, Quake comes into the Grim. Let's see. Okay, do they double the Grim, or do they Eerie Impulse? Okay, Life Orb. As long as they don't double the Grim. I probably should have tricked. I think that was a mistake on my part. Let's see. Okay, okay. No freeze. Beautiful. Okay, so now I'm faster than the Landorus. So I'm gonna I should be faster at least. I'm EV'd to outspeed base 100s. So I'm gonna go for the Steel Spike and I'm gonna go for the trick. Yes. Ooh, did they read me? Did they read me? Did they know? Trick Room. Please go for Trick Room. Please go for Trick Room. You want a Trick Room. Okay. Okay, they just protected through the max turn. That makes sense. Okay. Well, I think I'm just gonna go for the Air Slash into the Porygon, try to get the flinch, and then just trick the Landorus. Landorus should probably target the Grimmsnarl here. I feel like my opponents let me sit in play for a little bit too long. Okay, we get the trick off. That's great. And now Celesteela should still be faster. Okay, the Quake is fine. Let's see if my opponent went for, like, Recover. My opponent went for Recover. Let's see. Trick Room. Okay. I think I just bring in the Urshifu here. Okay, so if you're my opponent, Landorus is dead in the water. You probably have to recover your Porygon. So what do you have in the back? Unless you switch Torkoal in for Porygon, but that to me seems like a little bit of a loose play, because then it just takes an unnecessary Air Slash. But Landorus does not take the Surging Strikes unless they have, like, Ally Switch or something. I've only seen Ice Beam and Trick Room. I'm assuming Recover. So they could have Ally Switch. I'm guessing they wouldn't have Eerie Impulse because they would have already used it. So maybe it is Ally Switch. I'm really hoping it's not. But even if it is, I think we might still be okay because Landorus is still really slow. Okay, there's the Recover. That's fine. So they're just going to give me the Landorus here, which I think I agree with. Okay, now let's see what the last Pokemon is. Okay. Venusaur. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Huh. So how many turns left of Trick Room? 4? 3. 3 left of Trick Room. Okay. So my opponent, if you're my opponent here, Venusaur has to go for Sleep Powder into my Celesteela most likely, because it can't touch it otherwise. Unless they go for the Grass move into the Urshifu, which then I get Marowak into play. They'd have to double it. So I think I'm fine to just double the Porygon and see what they do. Okay, the Tri-Attack breaks the Sash. Yes. Wow, it does way more than break the Sash. Sleep Powder connects. Naturally. It usually does against me. Alright, let's see how much close combat does. Oh my god, what? Holy crap, that's a super specially bulky Porygon then. Okay, so Celesteela has burned her sleep turn. Our Reflect is gone. So I'm going to go ahead and, I think, Air Slash. I could go for Flamethrower just to guarantee hit. I'm going to Aqua Jet here, like, unquestionably. So this would be, they don't have Ally Switch now, they have Tri-Attack. So this Porygon's dead. If they go after the Celesteela with Venusaur here, then I can switch into, or I can protect through the last turn of Trick Room. Okay, Sludge Bomb connects, sure. Okay, now the Marowak gets to come in. Okay, now we should wake up this next turn. Ideally, turn 3 would be, more than 3 turns of sleep would be a little bit nuts. And I don't think that Venusaur should be able to take a Flare Blitz from Marowak. There's just no way. So this is last turn of Trick Room. They usually don't carry Protect. They usually carry Sleep Powder and then 3 attacks. So if they have Protect, they have Protect. But nope, doesn't look like it. This should most definitely KO unless it's Sash. Okay, beautiful. Sweet. That was, yeah, that was good. This matchup feels pretty good overall, especially when they have Registeel instead of the, Regirock. If they have Regirock, then I kind of have to bring Rillaboom instead of the Marowak. But with Registeel, Marowak matches up phenomenally into Registeel, obviously. So Well, I'm glad I got to win one here. I'm gonna be doing some updates over the team in the next like 24 hours, probably. Team Lock, like I said, is coming up here, but there's a couple of things that I want to test out on Showdown, and maybe I'll make a video of me testing them. But Nihilego, I think it's got to go. There's got to be something better that we can find. The whole idea, like I said, was a Trick Room setter that can deal with fire types, but I just don't think that it does enough for the team. I think it's too mopey, and it doesn't. It's either a phenomenal Pokemon or it's just dead weight, and it kind of has to be led to even exert any pressure. Because if it switches in, then it just, like I said, this team doesn't switch very well. So I don't necessarily need a better switch in. I just need something that has a bit more like game against more matchups than just like the Sun teams. And that's only if they have Zard. This Sun team didn't even have the Charizard or like a Zapdos or anything. So, yeah, I think that having something else maybe would be better. Or maybe just like utilizing a bit of a different core. Like Grimmsnarl is really good. But I'm also wondering about so like something else that could deal with, like I'm really only super impressed with Marowak, Celesteela, Rillaboom. Those three together feel really good. I've seen some people running a variation of this team that is Celesteela, Grimmsnarl, Rillaboom, Marowak, and then they're running Trick Room Setter, like Porygon, and then like Araquanid, which seems kind of cool to me. So maybe that would be worth looking at as well. I don't know. I'll have to think more about it. But thanks so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed it. Got to see a cool team. Once the Players Cup's over, or if I decide to not use this team, I'll put up a rental for it. But until then, I kind of want to keep some of my spreads and stuff a bit of a secret. So that's going to do it for me. But thanks again for watching, like I said, and I will catch you all in the next video. Have a good one.